Good morning. I'm meteorologist Jeff Gerber on this Monday morning or Memorial Day morning. Hope you have the day off and enjoying some time maybe with family. We're looking at some wet weather coming into the area. Matter of fact, already starting to see some of the wet weather up in the lakes area. We're going to be talking about that this morning. Also going to be talking about the rest of the week. Looks like it could be a pretty wet forecast, at least through Friday. The weekend looks like it's going to be a little bit drier. But every morning, 10 o'clock, we come to you doing this streaming thing. We're going to be doing it pretty much every morning at 10 o'clock. So if you want to get an update on the weather and maybe miss the daybreak show, you can always join us here at 10 o'clock and give you an extended version of what's going to be going on weather-wise. About 15 minutes is what we usually go here, and just let you know what's going on weather-wise, not only here but across some of the U.S. as well. Here's the rest of the day forecast. We'll go, and this is the triangle forecast. We'll go with about a 30% chance of rain through about 2 o'clock. By 6 o'clock, it should be drying out. By 10 o'clock also looks dry. Temperatures up near 90 today. We'll back off into the middle 60s by 6 o'clock, and by 10 o'clock we'll be looking at 78. Watching some showers and, like I said, some thunderstorms moving from the north. Right now, though, around the triangle, things are pretty quiet. Just partly cloudy skies here right now. Here's the view over at the Horseman's Western Store over in Orange, Texas. And you can see our Roofing 911 live Skycam network over there. Showing temperatures in the middle 80s, and then we're showing middle 80s downtown. This camera is from Packer the Prairie in downtown Beaumont. We have it turned towards the Jefferson County Courthouse. Our Roofing 911 live Skycam network currently showing 85, humidity at about 73%, and we have a little bit of a southwesterly wind anywhere between about, say, 1 to 5 miles an hour. You can see it's generally from the south. We go from south to southeast to southwest, so generally a south wind out there. As once again, we're looking at partly cloudy skies. Pretty much once you get south of, say, Lumberton over towards Orange, you're seeing just partly cloudy skies to start off this morning. But those clouds will start to move in a little bit later on, and we're expecting to see a little bit of rain here in the triangle. Right now, it's just kind of partly cloudy skies across the area. Here's the view from Port Arthur. This camera brought to you by Market Basket. All right, let's take a look at temperatures outside right now. And we're already close to 90 in Orange. You notice Orange is a little bit warmer than everywhere else, showing 89 there. Port Arthur's at 85, Beaumont's at 83. As you head up farther to the north, Jasper's at 77, 83 in Woodville, 82 Kirbyville, and then 84 in Silsbee. Here's radar, and you can see why Jasper now is in the 70s. Thanks to the rain that's moving in. This is a line of rain and thunderstorms that actually started all the way up in North Texas overnight and it's working its way southeastward. No severe weather, that's the good news, but there is a little bit of a line of some thunderstorms here, generally some heavy rain and thunderstorms, so you could get wind gusts 20, 30, and maybe some isolated wind gusts to 40 miles an hour as this pushes in. But generally, we're going to be just seeing some heavy rain, maybe a few lightning strikes here and there. It's not widespread as far as lightning is concerned. And it's generally moving off towards the southeast at about, say, 20, 25 miles per hour. So it's clipping the lakes area right now, and we're expecting maybe some of these showers to work their way down towards the triangle here for late, I should say early in the afternoon. We'll see this rain through late morning, and then it works its way down towards the triangle, say around lunchtime or maybe into the very early afternoon hours as it's making steady progress. It looks down towards the south. Here's the current radar, and wet weather's made it to Woodville. It's made it to Jasper, but everywhere else is pretty quiet. You can see the triangle's got a little ways to go. If you need to maybe run some errands, maybe a last-minute trip to the grocery store, I'd go out and do it now before the rain kind of slides down here in probably about 2 or 3 hours or so. But I would run out now and get what you need. If you're maybe doing a cookout or something like that and you forgot a few things, go now. If you live, say, Lumberton, Buna, live down towards Mid-County there, Orange, and then that rain's going to be coming in a little bit later on. Here's a little bit closer look at radar, and you can see a few lightning strikes here and there. Not a lot, but there are a few. The leading edge of the rain just now making it to Jasper and also down towards Woodville. Comanel's been seeing some showers and thunderstorms already. So is Chester. So is Browndell up there. Pineland up there in Sabine County been seeing some heavy rainfall as well, and just starting to get some of that heavy rain into parts of northern Newton County. Hasn't quite made it to Burkeville or Newton yet, but it's sliding fairly steadily off towards the south and east. So expect to see, at least in the next half hour, some showers and thunderstorms move in there. Like I said, you could also see those wind gusts there, 20, 30 miles an hour ahead of this line Good news, once again, is there's no severe weather associated with this line, just some general thunderstorms and some pockets of heavy rain out there. All right, here's the big picture. We have this stationary front to our north, and this is where the disturbances are riding along this stationary front. And as they do, they'll form a cluster of thunderstorms. Generally, we call them an MCC, a mesocycle convective complex or convective system. So a lot of meteorologists call it an MCC or an MCS. And they get a little bit of a mind of their own, and they can kind of shoot off from some of the main energy as they produce this line of thunderstorms, and they'll dive down to the south. Sometimes they'll dive off towards the east. But this one's working its way southeast. Looks like some of the heavier storms, though, are in northern Louisiana. It looks like it's weakening as it comes down towards us. Like I said, I think some of these showers at least make it down towards the triangle as we head towards later on this afternoon. I think the heavier stuff will stay to our north, but I'm thinking we'll maybe get at least a little bit of rain. Take a look around the rest of the country. The heaviest rain by far is Arkansas, down in Louisiana, and right here in southeast Texas. West Coast looks dry for the holiday. Also, the East Coast looks pretty dry out there. Maybe a few showers out towards the Outer Banks there earlier this morning. It looks like that's clearing out. And then you're seeing some heavy rain here around Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi. You get back up into the Midwest. There are some showers and thunderstorms, but not quite as widespread or heavy as we're seeing down here in the Deep South. So there is a little bit of rain out there for Memorial Day, but most of the country looks like it's on the dry side. Good news if they have some Memorial Day events that they're attending to. It looks like the weather's going to be pretty good there. All right, our futurecast shows the rain moving through the area. This is at 1 o'clock, and you can see some heavy rains, maybe a few claps of thunder here and there. And by 3:30, at least this computer model shows the rain's already out of here. So it's going to be a kind of a quick hit of some rain, and then it moves out. We'll see temperatures climb to about 90 degrees, upper 80s and lower 90s. Now we'll see quiet weather through the evening, 7 o'clock, 10 o'clock. No problems. And then we see another round of rain. At least this particular model shows another round of rain and thunderstorms coming through in the overnight hours. We're talking midnight to maybe 5, 6 a.m. and then eventually starting to clear out of here by 7 a.m. And then after that, looks like most of your Tuesday is going to be quiet. It's the overnight hours, very early morning hours, that we're expecting to see another round of some showers and thunderstorms. Once again, this next round could produce maybe some strong gusty winds. So we'll be watching for that. Each one of these are kind of shepherd things where could be a little bit stronger, could be a little bit weaker than the one before it. So this one coming through hopefully will be about as weak as the one we're seeing right now, where there's no severe weather. Notice after it clears out, the rest of Tuesday looks pretty quiet. We don't see a whole much, maybe something isolated, but it looks like your Tuesday afternoon, at least on this computer model, it's going to be dry and very warm as temperatures get back up into the middle to upper 80s. Our coastal marine forecast for your Monday, we'll go with choppy conditions on the inland lakes and bays. So not the greatest day for the boat, but not too bad. South winds 15 to 20 knots, seas around 2 feet along the coast. You notice our high tides, we had one earlier this morning at 4:31. Our next one's at 1:21 for this afternoon. Our sunset tonight's 8:09. Look at the wind gust out here off Texas Point, 22 to 25. So like I said, not the best day for the boat, but I've seen worse for sure. Water temperature at 83 out there into the Gulf of Mexico. Let's run down your forecast. We'll go with a higher rain coverage up towards the lakes, of course, because we're already starting to see some of that rain now. And then that drops off down to about 40% through the triangle. I think as it gets down here to the triangle later on this afternoon, it'll be more in the way of some scattered showers instead of a steady line all the way across the area of some rain and thunderstorms. Notice a little bit cooler up in the lakes thanks to they're getting the rain earlier in the morning here, and then about 90 degrees here in the triangle before we see that rain move into the area. It looks like late morning, lunchtime, or maybe early afternoon. And then overnight, we've got a good 60–70% coverage of rain and thunderstorms thanks to that secondary system moving through overnight. Temperatures will drop off into the lower 70s overnight with southeasterly winds anywhere between about 5 and 10 miles per hour. So looks like still a warm night, not as warm as it was this morning. This morning we were in around 80 degrees for a morning low. It was very warm and muggy. Tonight will be a little bit cooler thanks to the rain. And like I said, we could hear some thunderstorms as we go through the overnight hours. Here's a look at your 7-day forecast. 40% today down around the triangle, and then look at these numbers as we head towards Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. 60-70% coverage of rain and thunderstorms as we go through, it looks like Thursday, and then Friday about a 40% coverage of a few showers and thunderstorms. So from between today and Friday, we could pick up 2, maybe 4 inches of rainfall in some spots across the area. And then the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, we're expecting to see drier weather. If we see anything over the weekend, it looks like that weather would be just maybe a couple isolated showers. That's about it. At least with the rain, we'll get cooler temperatures. We're looking at some middle to upper 80s for most of the week. That includes your weekend where it looks a little bit drier. And we'll see a little bit of a north wind actually as the front goes through late Thursday into Friday. So that should feel a little bit better on Saturday. But overall, the pattern has really changed from what it was. It looks like a pretty wet week out there, and we'll have to deal with some of these showers and thunderstorms each day. It's not going to rain all day long every day, but it'll be some scattered rain here and there, primarily in the afternoon and the heat of the day. That's when we're expecting to see some of the rainfall out there. Let's check out, once again, our sky cams. I want to see if I can find the one up there in Jasper and pull it up here. I'll see if it pops up here. And check out to see if we can. Oh, we just missed it. Oh, did it show rain? I'm talking to our producer Ryan. Yeah, it was raining in Jasper. Okay, well we just missed the sky cam in Jasper. All right, well let's just take a look once again real quick here at the radar in case you're just joining us. Have some rain moving in from a cluster of some showers and thunderstorms, moving now into most of Tyler County. It's just starting to work its way into the northern parts of Jasper and Newton County. Once again, no severe weather here, but you will maybe hear a few claps of thunder. There is a little bit of lightning embedded in here, and you could catch some wind gusts 20, maybe 30 miles an hour as this line is moving southward. It does not look as healthy as it did earlier, and it's starting to break up a little bit. So still kind of a question mark whether some of these showers will make it all the way down here into the triangle, but I think at least a few of them will probably try to make it down here as we get towards, say, just after lunch or around the lunch hour, as this is moving at a steady pace off towards the south. Once again, right now it's the lakes area that's seeing some of the heavier rains. You can see a little bit of a thunderstorm around Jasper, actually a couple more than just a few lightning strikes. Looks like a handful there of some lightning strike. Hasn't quite made it to Newton yet, but Comanelle and Woodville, you guys have been seeing some of that rainfall out there. So we'll continue to watch it through the morning. Like I said, I don't think we're going to see too much in the way of too heavy a weather. We'll pick up maybe a half an inch or so in some spots. Maybe a few spots pick up about an inch of rain up in the lakes area with this rain moving through. Here around the triangle, I think we might pick up a quarter of an inch, half an inch or something like that as these scattered showers kind of work down towards us. Not looking for anything too heavy as it comes in later on this afternoon. The batch that comes through overnight, that might be a little bit heavier as far as some showers and thunderstorms. At least that's what some of the computer models are indicating. So we'll be watching for that as we check out the forecast as we go through tonight into tomorrow. So real quickly, let's run down the forecast one more time for you if you're just tuning in, and we'll go through it pretty quickly here. As you can see, for today, higher rain chances, of course, up towards the lakes area. About a 40% chance here in the triangle through this afternoon. Temperatures are going to be right around about 90. And then as we head towards tonight, good 60-70% coverage of rain and thunderstorms moving through. Temperatures back down into the 70s. And then our 7-day forecast, just going to be a wet week. We're going to see a good coverage of scattered showers and thunderstorms pretty much every day until we get towards